So it's the 4th of July weekend, hence the temporary fashion change. Last week was all about animal-based superheroes, so this week I'm rolling with that momentum and going with the yin to the yang. Supervillains that base their names or appearances on animals, and again, the various approaches that were made in implementing that. Welcome to my channel, KC, that's me, Carrie Chuck, the Sledge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of storytelling and open up discussion about how we can tell the best stories we possibly can. So as with animal-themed superheroes, my criteria comes somewhere between the quality of the character and how well the animal plays into the characters. Once more, a random list. So, number 10. Gorilla Grot. So, you can't help but be curious about the thought process that went into deciding that the Flash's Rogues Gallery should include a hyper-intelligent gorilla with the power of mind control, all from a radiation from a meteorite. But they make it work. He makes for a very interesting character as a power-hungry outcast from Gorilla City, determined to overthrow good-hearted Solivar and take over. Besides just mind control, Grot can transfer his consciousness into other bodies. His strength far exceeds that of an ordinary gorilla. With his scientific genius, he mastered Gorilla City's advanced technology. This is all about taking the angle of a human-like species and bringing them past human levels of intelligence in all matter of abilities as well. Number 9. Sabertooth. Like Catwoman, old Victor Creed has taken time out of villain status to be a good guy, but he's better focused as a villain, I think. So, built up as a counterpart to Wolverine with amazing strength and teeth and claws to match. His background has him being an enforcer for various criminal organizations, as well as being part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. His rivalry with Wolverine is one in terms of substance. You can compare it to Batman's rival with the Joker. Number 8. Killer Croc. Batman himself is an animal-themed hero, so it only makes sense to have his Rogues Gallery loaded with similar themed villains. Waylon Jones was born with a condition called atavism, which made his body over time pick up reptilian traits of scaly skin and crocodile-like strength. Tragically, as a kid he got bullied by other kids over his looks. Makes sense that he would have a chip on his shoulder, and that led to his life of crime. With strength that allowed him to almost effortlessly rip open a bank vault, thick, tough skin that can take bullets from a distance, and enhanced agility and reflexes, increased stamina, a heightened sense of smell, and even lizard-like regenerative powers. Killer Croc proves an extremely formidable foe to the Dark Knight. Number 7. Lizard. Okay, sticking with reptilian villains, similar to Batman, there's a lot of animal theme against animal theme with Spider-Man. Dr. Kirk Connors can't stand the thought of living as an amputee, so he became fixated on his research to find a way for humans to pick up lizard-like traits of limb regeneration. Consequently, he got more than he bargained for, and the lizard traits took over. Somewhat comparable to Killer Croc, Lizard has superhuman strength, likewise enhanced speed, stamina, and agility. Similar to Spider-Man, he can scale walls with the help of his gecko traits. He is resistant to injury due to his thick scales, and of course, what he wanted the most, enhanced healing ability and regenerative traits. His strength includes his long tail with crippling power. And lastly, Lizard has razor-sharp teeth contained within a muscular jaw that can render a deadly bite. Number 6. Man-Bat. Yet we segue again, but now to another scientist obsessed with gaining animal traits. In this case, Dr. Kirk Langstrom feels that humans can benefit from having the same acute sonar abilities as bats, so he lets himself be the guinea pig and takes a serum he developed and becomes... In Man-Bat form, Langstrom has enhanced strength, agility, and endurance. He grows an extra set of digits to form bat wings that enable him to fly. He too gets his wish to have super sensitive hearing, also with a sonar emitting high-pitched sound waves to hear the echoes bouncing off nearby objects, so he can easily fly in pitch black darkness. Number 5. Rhino. While you can't have a serious heroes rogues gallery be a bunch of dimwits, it's fun to make use of at least one, as long as he or she poses some form of major threat. Such is the case of Spider-Man villain Rhino, real name Alexei Sitsevich, who benefited from being subjected to a series of chemical and radiation experiments meant to give him an artificial skin covering that gave him superhuman strength and resistance to injury, characteristic of his namesake. And since he was already as dumb as a box of rocks, his main strategy is to charge you, which often leads to Spider-Man having to go to great lengths to clear the way or position himself to effectively confront him. To say anything more would be overkill. Number 4. Man-Wolf. John Jameson normally has no quarrel with Spider-Man, to the chagrin of his dad, J. Jonah Jameson, editor of the Daily Bugle. Spider-Man writers have found various story angles to take on John. Just look through the various libraries to find out. No time to go at length on that. But his escapades as Man-Wolf make him worthy of this list. As an astronaut on the moon, John found a ruby-like gem that he took with him and made a pendant out of to wear around his neck, which in turn grafts to his skin and turns him into a Man-Wolf. Armed with the werewolf basics, superhuman strength, agility, speed and durability, an accelerated healing factor, and heightened senses, razor-sharp teeth and claws, though all conventional weapons could do damage with enough force applied. A good man turned dangerous animal, very well done. Number 3. Scorpion. A product of an experiment sponsored by J. Jonah Jameson himself to furnish the means to bring down Spider-Man, Mac Gargan took all the scaled-up attributes of a scorpion, making him even stronger than Spider-Man with his enhancements. And what would be the point of making him a scorpion if the tail didn't pack a wallop? It certainly does, just like what you see here. Number 2. Penguin. I confess I was a little hesitant to include old Oswald Cobblepot. While I really like him as a Batman villain, more on that in a bit, the way he operates is not exactly Penguin-like. Up until the mid-90s, Penguin was all about being a dapper yet petty criminal with trick umbrella gimmicks. But in the mid-90s, he became a shrewd crime boss running some really heavy-duty rackets. How much reach did these rackets have? During the events of the post-Quake No Man's Land, Batman had no choice but to make a deal with old Pengy that had necessities for stranded Gothamites funneled through those rackets. The Penguin name and imagery works much the same way as with real-life gangsters like Babyface Nelson and Joe Bananas Bonanno, all with a slice of irony of his formidability with such short stature. And finally, last but not least, number 1, King Shark. From a race of human sharks, Nana Uwe entered the DC universe with powerful arms and legs to match the power you'd expect from his jaws. Even if you have the Flash's super speed, you would take extra care to steer clear of all that he is fighting you with, coupled with the fact that he has great intellect to go along with all that strength. That's my insight on animal-themed supervillains. Agree, disagree, or something I left out? Please let me know in the comments section. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this channel, please click subscribe or follow me on Instagram. As always, the link to order Sledge number 1 is below the description like there, where you can order it on Kindle. And let's all look for civility amid all the bad news out there about social and political strife. Let's try to get along. And amid this pandemic, let's follow the guidance that we're all being told. And if you qualify for the vaccine, please do take it. Thanks for watching. Everyone be safe and God bless.